21 years old, just come off the bench to get the 3 points for Portugal. A very, very happy Roberto Martinez there. They've got off to a winning start just about. They left it very, very late. Francisco Conceição winning it right at the death. Although both of Portugal's goals were gifts, weren't they, from Czech Republic. Czech Republic defended brilliantly. But in the end, it was Portugal that got all 3 points. Patrice, you said 2-1. You finally got a prediction right.
That's the only one I say. David was always making the prediction, but yeah, that's the kind of result I was expected. And David was saying earlier, you know, Italy, England or France, we're going to say they have a poor game. No, they don't have a poor game. This is a really difficult competition. And again, I repeat, it is the first game. And that's why I'm not surprised about their celebration. Yeah. You see how the players are celebrating because they understand the importance to start the tournament with 3 points.
Yeah, David, that's so. You saw that again. Ronaldo embracing Conceição, almost half his age Conceição is. That was a big moment, wasn't it, for Portugal so early on in this competition?
It was, yeah. And the point I was making to Patrice was that a lot of the fancy teams have sort of gone through by 1 goal and not the most impressive or shall I say, sparkling form. I think there's a lot of relief there as well because Ronaldo being offside for the header hit the post that goes in, the fact that they haven't actually created properly the goals in one sense, there have been mistakes to it. But who cares? They'll be in that change room. Roberto Martinez was celebrating as much as Conceição, I think. Did he get booked for taking his jacket off?
That's how it works. Absolutely brilliant. Well, it was Portugal that got all 3 points, but it was actually Czech Republic who got off. They went 1-0 up. Lucas Provod. We saw some brilliant goals from outside the box in the Turkey-Georgia game. And Patrice, we saw another brilliant one from Lucas Provod to put Czech Republic 1-0 up. What a finish this was.
What a brilliant finish. And you remember at half-time, I say, you know, that team, every chance they're gonna play like 100%, and this was perfect, and the perfect goal, perfect strike, the right balance. I mean, the goalkeeper couldn't have done nothing.
Yeah, David, Diogo Costa, the ball's going away from him, isn't it, which makes it even more difficult for him? Yeah,
there's a lot of influence on his decision-making here. First of all, there's a lot of bodies. The ball is just around head height. But the main thing, like you said there, is the fact that it's a right footer curling away from him. So as soon as he lets himself go, he's never going to get the ball. Well, he hasn't got a chance. I mean, this is a perfect finish. I think it just comes off the inside of the post as well. This angle's great.
David, this is remarkable. This is like the 3rd best goal scored today. How is that the 3rd best goal scored today?
Yeah, I mean, well, we will see goals where the goalkeeper hasn't covered himself in glory. Oh, good timing. Yeah, but the goalkeepers for the majority of the goals today just have had no chance whatsoever. This by Stanek, it's frustrating because he made the massive save in the first half. If I can imagine being here for a moment, perhaps he's seen a lot of bodies around him, and it's caught in a couple of minds. Do I try and catch it and drop it? No, I try and parry it. And instead he's hit his own defender, Barak, who has had one of those games where he does not want to swap shots.
No, exactly, and I feel sorry also for the defender, but because what he can do, the ball is just bouncing on him. Like, this is unlucky.
And this is another gift, David. You know, Czech Republic defended so well for such a huge part of this game, and it all fell apart right at the death.
I did say to you that they'd have to find the holes in the defence. And that's a hole between the legs there, look at that. And the goalkeeper slips and he dives over it. I mean, this was destined to be Portugal's night, believe it or not. Everything that could have happened in their favour happens in that split second. But Conceição, as you say.
So sharp, off the bench.
Bosh.
Straight in, scores a winning goal, a vital goal, 21 years old, Patrice.
I think Martinez is celebrating, of course, for the 3 point, but also for him is a jackpot. Bringing these young kids and offering the victory for his country. This is a fairy tale story.
Yeah, I mean, you can see there, this is the 3rd victory by a team conceding the opening goal of a game at Euro 2024. It's only happened twice in the group stage at Euro 2020. Will Portugal be happy, David, with their overall performance tonight, or is it just a case of, like we've been saying for the other big teams, It's just about getting 3 points.
Well, the first thing is get 3 points. Then you go through the video analysis, the technical analysis, and all that stuff. And I think what you'll find is that Portugal absolutely bossed this game. The one shot on target from Czech Republic happens to be one of the goals of the tournament so far, and you say to yourself, OK, these things can happen. Beyond that, I mean, the first half, they could argue that they should have had better deliveries into the box for Ronaldo. But that's only half the game. The second half, as I say, they bossed it. Yes, there's been a couple of mistakes, but this was pretty much all Portugal.
Yeah. Right, we want you guys to get involved as much as possible. And one of our viewers has actually sent in a question. Vatsal says, there's something missing between Portuguese attackers. There is a lack of chemistry in the forward line. If this is the best gameplay of Portugal, they are in huge trouble if they get to the knockouts. I mean, Patrice, you're laughing, so I'm assuming you don't agree with that.
But of course, I'm laughing, and you know, I think everyone can get his opinion. But when you know about you know, the tactical point, and especially when you play against a team like Republic Czech, and they also play a very good game, so they must be also disappointed. But this is the people just behind the screen and writing stuff, because if you know about football, like, I respect his opinion, but come on, this is you mean like you don't know about tactical football.
Yeah. Well, Portugal did have some chances in the second half. We can have a look at them now. But David, do you feel like there's something missing in this Portuguese attack?
Well, because it was 0-0 at half time. And as I say, there were a lot of poor crosses in it. Then I think it was Vatel who'd sent the tweet in there. You get it, but if you look at the France game, the Italy game, where there were 3 goals in the first half and the second half was really, really slow. They argue there was no fizz in the game. I mean, at least this got the fizz at the end of it. And as I say, tactically, as Patrice said, Roberto Martinez knows what to do to win the game. It's just whether or not the players are able to do it. And mistakes or not, in the end, they've done what they set out to do, which is to get 3 points.
You know, Olivier, let's be clear, and all those people, that's why they were looked at, is if that game, Portugal lose or finish under the draw, first headline will say Cristiano shouldn't start. And you asked me a question before the game. You say, do you think he's going to take him off the last 10 or 15 minutes? No, because he's always creating something. I know we're going to see, I hope, that goal. Cristiano will always like produce something the last second, the last minute. But people were already, that's why they're going to talk. Portugal are playing bad when Ronaldo, and I think it's not fair. Because if you compare the game of Ronaldo and Harry Kane, Ronaldo have more opportunity and touch more the ball than Harry Kane. But no one going to say, oh, England should like take off Harry Kane. So that's why we have to stop talking about the age of Ronaldo. And people going to say, I am his not advocate, his brother, whatever. But I'm just telling fact.
Patrice only talks facts, doesn't he? Right, it's time for Changemaker of the Day. And that is, of course, who else but Francisco Conceição, who obviously scored the winning goal for Portugal. He just came off the bench, 21 years old. He was sharp, wasn't he? And he, of course, scored the winning goal. He is our changemaker of the day.
They've defended so well in the main, but it's a mistake that has proved costly.
Francisco Conceição came off the Portugal bench to get the winner, to get them off to a winning start at Euro 2024. 7 minutes played, 2 touches, 1 shot, 1 goal. Patrice doesn't really get much better than that, does it?
Like I say, it's a fairy tale. Like, I'm really proud. That's why I say now in football, you know, it doesn't matter the age. Age is just a number. You can be young and old. If you are on the pitch, I mean, you can help your team. So that's why people should like stop talking about the age.
Oh, I will, sorry, Patrice. I'll stop talking about age from now on. But David, I say we, I'm going to take credit for this. You noticed something when we were re-watching that winning goal. The poor Czech Republic goalkeeper, he slipped at just the wrong time, didn't he?
Stanek, yeah. I mean, it's strange because what we look at and don't see is amazing. And obviously with Conceição scoring the goal and the ball going through the defender's legs, all I saw was a goalkeeper diving, and I thought that he'd changed position as we see it. Oh man. And then he tries to, and it goes underneath him. The question would always be, if he hadn't slipped, would he have got there before Conceição? I mean, he could have turned into a mad one where he gave away a penalty and Ronaldo scored, but we might have to wait for a Ronaldo goal in this one. But look at that celebration. Well worth 7 minutes and a fine for a yellow card. He's going to put his trousers on.
Whoa, okay.
Hold on, boy. Hold on, boy.
Yeah. Hold on.
Kids watching the game.
Shirt off is enough, isn't it?
Yeah, it's more than enough.
David, we mentioned, you know, he slipped at the wrong moment, the goalkeeper. What did you make of his performance overall? Because he did make some good saves as well in the game, didn't he?
He did in the first half. I mean, this one from Ronaldo, again, difficult to know whether he was offside or not. It's a massive, massive block, irrespective. Then that was probably the only one he held on to, funnily enough. The free kick, difficult because of the conditions. Any advice, I mean, to hold on to it. As you can see, he spilled it. Put some Vaseline on your gloves when it rains. And then that straight at him. But the problem is, and I'm actually doing a technical report on the goalkeepers in this game for UEFA, I will have to mention the fact that he has spilled the ball for the first goal. The second goal, I'll let him off. It was a difficult night for him because in the end, his team loses and he is front and centre for that defeat.
Yeah, definitely. It wasn't Cristiano Ronaldo's day either. He won't be complaining because his team have walked away with three huge points. What are you laughing at, Patrice?
Because he wasn't Cristiano Ronaldo day because he didn't score.
Well, yeah, I know he had a few chances, didn't he? But we expect because he's so brilliant, and because when he gets chances, even half chances, we expect him to score because that's what he's been doing his whole career. I'm just saying, by his standards. Was it?
What I would say,
you make a good point.
What I would say is, similar to when they won the trophy, his celebration at the end of the game was as much as anyone else's.
It's a team, isn't it?
Exactly. So, you know.
And he knows just how important, you know, they're not relying on him to just do it. You know, we spoke about their squad depth, didn't we, at the start? We know the impact that man can have at any given day and any given time. And he was getting those chances. His movement, Patrice, was still better than ever, wasn't it? Oh,
thank you very much. No, because, you know, sometimes I look at his movement. Okay, this is like a little bit circus of Ronaldo. But even this movement, I mean, like Bruno put the right pass, but they know his movement. And many times he didn't have the ball, that touch. I think Ronaldo have like a good game. You know, like you said, the problem with those kind of players, if they have a bad game, they're going to say this is the worst game ever. If they have a good game, they're going to say it's a bad game. And if they have an amazing game, we're going to say it was a good game. You have to be extra to say like, wow, what a game.
Most of Cristiano Ronaldo's bad games would be most players' good games, wouldn't they?
Thank you very much.
That's exactly what it is.
Merci beaucoup, Olivia.
But it was Francisco Conceição who got the winning goals, gifted them all 3 points. And Patrice, we spoke about the squad depth, and that was the difference today for Roberto Martinez, and it's probably what separates them and the likes of France from the rest of the teams in this competition.
Yeah, I mean, like you need a big squad depth to win games, to win this tournament. And that's why, you know, we don't talk that much about Portugal. But at the end, they have a massive bench, and they make the difference, and that's why they win today.
Yeah. Right, there were
thoughts about Manchester United and Everton. The erstwhile great Manchester United are still seesawing. A draw with Spurs on the 14th of January saw them win 5 straight games, albeit most of them just barely. Then came the awful loss to Fulham on the 24th of February, in which they played a lacklustre game. Then came Sunday's derby, where they lose 1-3 to the current league champions Manchester City, a game where they go a goal ahead, defend brilliantly for 50 minutes, eventually capitulating to the obviously better class of their rival. Regarding the manager Erik ten Hag, there are still many complaints from pundits left and right. The lack of clear sense of direction or style of play, lack or poor quality of man management, and constant poor recruitment of players. Since the 25% takeover of Man United by Jim Ratcliffe, it was hoped that Man United will progress to a more successful direction under his watch. Some pundits even think that Ten Hag might even be replaced come next season. Yet the stats show that he did not do too badly. He managed 61 wins in all competitions in his first 100 games, which actually is better record than either Mikel Arteta with 54 and Jurgen Klopp with 50.
Thoughts on Arsenal and Tottenham? If not for that one-week blip where they lost to Aston Villa and bow out of the Champions League, Arsenal have been by far the most impressive team this season. They have the best defensive record. They blow teams away by huge margin of goals, which leave them with the top goal difference, worth a point at least. Even after that week of disappointment, they are now pretty much faultless. It is not their choice, however. They have to be because reigning champions Manchester City have games in hand, which if they win all the remaining games, there is nothing Arsenal can do about it. They will be crowned champions for the 4th consecutive time. But the way Arsenal played this season, it will be a shame if they did not win the Premier League.